All right, in this recording, I'm going to go through the PBAS data poll. I'm not going to look at the data itself. I'm simply going to go through what I would pull normally in a day, and I might talk through a couple of the other reports, but the idea is that we're going to just quick glance of what I pull, and then we can talk about those individually, but we want to keep the video short. So with that said, I'm going to share my screen, and then you guys can see that I'm looking at PBAS at the moment. So, all right. So when you come here, there's a couple things that you may want to look at. For reports, you're generally going to want to look at your, or I should say differently, what I pull is the ADT record list report. I pull the fund status report. I pull the IDT record list report. And then I pull the unpaid UOO report. There's a couple other reports that are valuable in here. The IDT future obligations report and the IDT monthly obligations report. Those are good sets of data to pull in, and I'm currently working with the 22nd Air Force to make sure that I pull in that data and can match their reports. But the only other report that might be useful is under the target load request. You have the fund availability report, which gives you your quarterly amounts that you have. So again, you've got different sets of data in different areas that are kind of key to how we look at the information. So if I select a OBAN, I have the fund availability report that I can pull. Again, all of these are going to open up a second box, and then you're going to save that information in the data file that was mentioned in a previous video. So you can kind of see here, I'm just going to go to my data file. And then once it comes up, I have fund availability report. So for example, here, PBAS fund availability report. I'm not changing the save type. I'm trying to keep them all under the file that it comes in. And I'll show you in Power BI how you can quickly change those or pull in different data sets. But for just kind of quick synopsis, what I do, I usually start at the bottom and work my way up. That's a tomato thing. Again, I'm pulling it by the OBAN because that way it has the same data in all of the files laid out the same way. And I'm always going to pull it as an Excel file. Most of these come in as CSVs, comma separated values, and it's just a you can kind of see how I pull all of them. So I'll start with the UO reports. I'm going to pull 3.4, then I'm going to pull 3.5. I'm going to do the IDT list report for 3.4. Right now, there is nothing in the 3.5, so there's nothing to pull. Then I'm going to do the fund status report for 3.4, fund status report for 3.5, ADT list report for 3.4, and ADT or record list for 3.5. These outputs are part of Power BI, and I will show you those once I pull all this data. So again, I'm just going to run through this really, really quickly and then save the video and then move on to another video. So these are short, quick videos. I have another video on themes data and how to pull that. That is slightly pulled differently just because you're going from AFAOC, and once you pull that data, all you have to do is reopen up the Excel file for it to update. One thing you want to keep in mind as you're pulling your data, you should see if you're using Chrome, the little download section, every now and then it will error. So you just want to watch these and make sure that it shows a good download. So again, PBAS is not the most functional system, so it's kind of hard to piece this together. It's slow too, especially if you're doing it on the weekend like I'm doing right now. But that said, you're able to kind of open this stuff up eventually and take a look at what information is valuable. Again, I keep it to the fiscal year. 3.4 all, try to select all. We're not going to worry about socials at this point because once we open up the data, we're going to do it in Power BI, and we're going to basically use Power BI to pull out the data that we don't want. But when we're going through this, what we want to do is make it as simple as possible so we have a quick, easy pull of data each morning. So there's that report. Then I've got the fund status report. Again, before. In this one, I'm going to select the pivot table. It still comes as a CSV file, but as a pivot table, it is displaying the information in a way that is a little bit more usable in Excel and in Power BI. So again, you just want to pull the data in the best formats possible because it cleans up formatting from other systems. I'm always looking for a way to get a API to connect to these reports so we can just yank the data ourselves. I know AFAOC has a way to do it. I believe that Afric has a way to do it, but base level, I do not have a way to connect to these systems and just pull the data that I want. So I end up pulling it like this. The fund status report, so then ADT record list. Again, you see these pop up here. And again, you just want to see it bad. You'll see a little cancel sign, little red circle if it doesn't work. Right now, everything's working because I'm betting nobody else is in PBAS because it is Sunday. ADT list. And then 3.5. And ADT record list 3.5. Again, in the future, I plan on bringing in the future monthly obligation reports and the future obligation reports, but right now it's not part of my model. So again, you're always welcome to do that. You can also bring in prior fiscal years for a larger bandwidth if you so want, but initially it's going to throw off at least my models. So that's it for what I pull in PBAS. And yeah, again, I'm going to cut up these videos. So hopefully we'll see you in another video. Remember to comment below if something's not pulling right or you need help with something, and hopefully we can go in and fix it. So